Hey, what's up, everybody? So today I am working on a 2007 Honda CRV, and the complaint with this car is that it intermittently does not start. So this is a friend's mom and dad's car. Apparently, they took it to the dealership and they replaced the starter, and it's still having the same problem. So I said I would take a look at it, and yeah. So oh, it's also due for service too. So I'm going to be doing some servicing on this car. So yeah, so what happens is when you turn the key, one thing they told me that it makes this buzzing noise from behind the dash, and that right away tells me that it's got a bad ignition switch. So I'm gonna see if I can just duplicate it here. So if you turn it, it makes a buzzing noise. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear that, how well it does. So if you push in hard enough and you turn it, it will start, but it still kind of buzzes a little. So yeah, that tells me right away it needs an ignition switch. So I picked one up. Here's the part number. Luckily, my old dealership, Honda dealership, had one in stock. There's the part number for the CRV. Show you how easy it is to change it and not spend a couple $100s on replacing a starter instead of, maybe a $80 part, And that's how much I got this one's for. So yeah, let me show you how to do it. All right, so the first thing you got to do is pull the steering wheel all the way forward. That'll just make it easier for you. And I think this thing is held in by 3 screws. There's one there, there's one there, and one there. So once you have that, you can take this bottom cover off, and it's just clipped onto the top cover. The only thing I would say is just to use some kind of soft trim tool so you don't scratch up these plastics. And yeah, so let me take this off for you. Okay, so I removed the 3 screws underneath. All you had to do is find yourself a good spot and get yourself a plastic trim tool. This one's just like a snap-on one. So I just get in between here and give it a little twist and pull, right, and it comes right off. So as you can see, it's pretty easy to get these covers off. Same thing on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll bring you back. All right, so to get this ignition switch right here, there's one screw here, and then there's one on the bottom side, maybe a little bit harder to get to. It's just right there on the end of my finger, if you can see that. Yeah. So after taking those two, the ignition switch does come out. To get this connector off, there's a little just, push down on this tab and it just slides right out, right? But yeah, don't worry about need to program the key, because the thing that reads the key is this guy right here. So you're not replacing that. So you don't need you don't actually need to program the key after you replace the ignition switch. But if you were to put everything back, this is the top piece, right? You see these 2 long little things here. What they go into when you put it all back is into that hole, and then into that hole right there. And same thing with the bottom. It has these 2 long, things on the end. And what they go into when you're putting it back is this hole and that hole right there. And then all they do is they clip in into each other. Once you clip it into each other, you can actually you just put the screws back in underneath. So yeah, pretty simple. You can do it yourself, and maybe save yourself some money and not have somebody misdiagnose a no start condition. So here's a trick. I guess I don't know if it's a trick or anything, but probably other people know about it. But we get a lot of cars like the Hondas that got towed in with the ignition cylinders. They don't turn with the key. So taking these covers are super easy, as you can see, and you can remove this ignition cylinder. After you remove the ignition cylinder, you can just these are the breakaway bolts, I guess, if you can see, to get that steering wheel lock off. You can see, yeah, you can take that off, and once you get that, the steering wheel won't lock, and you can actually start the car and drive the car into the shop. So let me just show you with a screwdriver. Yeah, so there you go. You can start the car. I hope that's okay. I don't know. I don't want to show people how to steal cars or anything, but that's just something. If you're can't start the car and bring the car in, and You know, but you can still put the car in neutral and push the car in, I guess. But then your steering wheel will lock. But that's my way of getting the cars into the shop from when they get towed in outside or left outside. So, all right. So once you put the new ignition switch in, right? Make sure you just double check and it's not doing it anymore. But yeah, I tried it a bunch of times. I wasn't able to duplicate that buzzing noise, and it starts right away. So that's a for sure fix now. Now his parents don't have to worry about it never or intermittently not starting, because they weren't happy after they spent all that money to replace the starter. So yeah. So anyways, I hope you liked the video, and I'll see you next time. Please like and subscribe.